In the operating system, two modes now. One is the user mode, one mode is the kernel mode. The user mode, operating system behavior defined, kernel mode, operating system behavior defined. In the user mode, whatever the area, the memory, it should be different type of memory. In the kernel mode, what are the memory, it should be different type of memory only. So generally, this type of memory is called a virtual memory. Virtual memory. So hardware point of view also the memory should be different. Hardware is there, your RAM. RAM also you have different type of memory is there on the physical memory. RAM. Okay. RAM address. The physical address. So the kernel memory should be different. Okay. Generally you can call a logical memory, the logical address actually. Yeah, logical memory point out logical address. This is called physical memory, the physical address actually. So physical memory point out the some location is a physical address. So logical is a point out the kernel area, the kernel part. So virtual is a user space area. Okay, you can simply call a virtual address. Virtual address is a user space area. So this memory is a virtual, nothing but not a real. It's not a real memory because it is point out to the hard disk, secondary memory. That's why I call it virtual. The meaning of virtual nothing but is not point out the RAM. Is point out the hard disk only. That's why called virtual. So the virtual memory size depends on the hard disk size only, secondary memory size only. For example, my hard disk 1 terabyte. So user memory is also maximum 1 terabyte. You can. So here the program is point out the hard disk space only, hard disk area point out. But conversion important actually. The virtual to physical conversion important. The conversion is a memory management responsibility and hardware responsibility all together to convert it to virtual to physical. So microprocessor mainly to find the program where physical memory, where here. So either kernel program, either the user mode program, all the programs are where located in the RAM. RAM only the program. Okay. So microprocessor to communicate the physical memory to load the kernel program and to load the user program, whatever microprocessor to communicate everything from the RAM only, RAM itself. Secondary memory is just storage media, just can store your programs or documentation, something. Generally, memory, wherever you can discussion about the memory, nothing but always primary memory, RAM or ROM only. So secondary is actually the storage media. Okay. So storage memory, this is virtual actually. The virtual memory, nothing but here. In the user space, what are the files you can store or are able to see, and what are the program running. Most of the program point out virtual only. Virtual street. What are the address here? You need to convert it to physical also. The conversion is one of the component, okay, responsibility, that is a memory management unit on MMU responsibility. MMU is a part of the microprocessor, is a one of the hardware circuit. So the MMU responsibility to shifting the addresses now, okay, the virtual to this, the mapping the addresses now. How to transfer, how it works, that we discuss in today's session. How the things are running. Okay, the concept using page table, paging concept like that, you can transfer into here. So in this memory management concept, the first topic is a memory hierarchy, very important. Hierarchy. So the memory management is a part of the kernel space. So okay, you want to understand what the memory management roles and responsibility in the kernel, what is the service. First of all, you want to understand the all type of memories only in the memory hierarchy concept to study. Okay. What type of the memory follow the hierarchy. First to process to find out the RAM, not RAM actually, first to cache memory. Cache memory is not the primary memory. Otherwise secondary. Like that, levels are their own level. That is a memory hierarchy concept. Next is the memory divided into partitions also. So how to divide the partition, what type of partition we are going to discussing, what the partitions concept only. So the RAM is there, we divide to some partitions actually, RAM. Okay, now the one partition for only for kernel area, one partition for only for user mode. Okay, user can run the application. User mode also create some number of partitions. Okay, every program has some particular partition like that. So partitions you create now. So partitions are two types, equal or unequal partition. Two type of partitions are there, unequal. So partition, you have some disadvantage will be there. The drawback overcome in the paging concept. What is the paging concept? Now we are discussing. Okay, why paging concept introducing in the market? So you want to understand the disadvantage of the partition, they can go to the paging concept. Memory divided to partition, but some drawback is there. To avoid that one, paging is a better option. how paging concept works, especially demand paging, very interesting concept. Demand paging. Yeah, page table, MMU, okay, MMU responsibility, member management rate, create the page table actually. How page table create, how it works, now you can see now. Now you can see all the types of addresses, differences now. What is the virtual address, what is the logical address, what is the physical address, how to communicate the addresses, everything you see clearly. All the addresses you can check it now clearly. And you can see finally one example, practical example you can see, like a lab exercise actually. In the lab exercise you can see, check your system, okay. So your system virtual, whatever your current running system, virtual memory find out, okay, a logical memory find out, physical memory find out, logical and physical, okay, you can find out actually your current running system now, your laptop, whatever now, wherever the your operating system running, there you can find out the some small exercise now, you can check it now. So you are running current system, current your operating system, virtual memory, logical memory, physical memory, you can find out. Okay. So in the Linux, we are going to find out some commands are available only. We'll discuss the practical commands and get the values of it. So that's all. This is the overall agenda we are started.